Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Yeah, hey,
I just want to get this started. Hi. Welcome. You look good. Put this down. Okay. Audio's good. How are you? Welcome to another episode of the People's Mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. Introduce yourself.
Hey, yo, I'm Malorie Bryant.
Let's get some of this table.
Yeah.
Rush this and get it together. Come to me.
Okay, come to you.
Yep. Closer. Good job.
Perfect.
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
This is
How are
a
you?
production. It is a
Yeah,
production.
it's fabulous.
Introduce yourself. Tell them who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm a stand-up comic in New York City, or wherever they will send me and pay me. But yeah, I'm a comic. We met. Jimmy Peoples was the first person to give me a spot on his show.
I still debate that.
He was. He doesn't.
You were doing comedy before.
I was, but I was just doing mics and I was producing my own shows.
Okay,
so you were the first person to give me a spot on a show that wasn't my own.
See, that's the split.
That's true. That's true. The first. Do you know what I mean? Like the first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody else gave me a spot.
I don't. Okay.
I was
That's
trying.
stupid. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I like being first.
Boom. Boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what's up. And you've been doing it ever since.
Mm-hmm.
You do a lot of dope shit.
I try.
Alright.
Yeah.
And what how was your day? Let's start slow.
Yeah, absolutely. Day was good. I'm preparing for my trip to Chicago. I'm doing the Women's Funny Fest there. And so each morning I've been like waking up and just writing. Like first thing in the morning. Like sometimes I just don't even eat. I just like make my cup of tea and then I write. And I'm trying to, and I write in the sense that like I'm trying to like give myself that.
Just poke it like moles. Good.
Give myself that time to just like rework things or rework transitions. So I'll listen back to. I've been doing my set like every week for the last couple weeks. So I've been like tweaking things and listening back and seeing what's the best thing. And then I'm just gonna plan to do that until show date Sunday.
Is that a competition?
It's not a competition. It's just a celebration of women in comedy.
Okay. That's dope. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really
Do you
excited.
feel like you're ready? Do you feel like you're not ready?
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, knock on wood. I do feel ready. Yes. Where else? Oh, there's wood over there.
You wanna?
But yeah, no, I feel pretty good. It's, as you know, as you've been doing stand-up for a long time, like you have your best stuff, and I'm just pulling all my best stuff. I'm not doing anything crazy, but I am trying to tighten up transitions. And I like the chain links, like making sure that every chain links together, rather than just being like rapid fire 8-minute set, let's do it. It's like nah, let's like take my time. I have 15 minutes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like a nice chunk of time. I can get comfortable. I can say hello to them. I can talk. I don't have to, focus on just like joke. I can do all the jokes, but also feel comfortable.
You pulled me aside. You
Yes.
said you wanted to. You had some stuff.
That's some stuff. Go.
Yeah. I never know the transitions because sometimes people come in and be like, look,
Yeah.
I want to talk about this thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
And there's no transition.
No transition. Okay.
Into it.
This is what I want to talk about.
Go.
Okay, so when I first met you, I knew, and I feel like the other day you were talking about like positive affirmations, positive books, positive things that you are into and that you read, and I'm into all those things as well. And I think that sometimes when you're, not sometimes, all the time, when you're going through this whole like stand-up world vibe, you need certain little like keys, certain little nuggets to like help you continue the process, because it's definitely not going to be easy. And there's definitely you're gonna ride a roller coaster. You're gonna do an incredible set Friday night and then do the exact same set on Saturday, and it's shitty.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you get through? What are your steps and steps towards success? Treating your failures like they are successes, and I feel like, yeah, that's what we need to talk about.
What are? All right, let's start from the top.
Yeah.
And
And I might even ask you questions because I have questions. Is that fair?
That's absolutely. You can do whatever. All right, ask me a question.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite, like, either quote or thematic idea that can help newer comics and older comics continue down the path of just grinding?
Yeah, that's super easy. It's actually a backstory.
Yeah.
Right? I hate that. A lot of it comes from my failures as a football player. All right, so it was a day when me and the young kid, it was a junior varsity, and we were like, hey, we're not going to play. We're on a state championship team. We have state championships every year. It's like Friday Night Lights, big football school. We stayed at the end and just crack jokes. And we were like, yes, hey, we're not going to get in, so we're just going to have fun in the back, and we're not going to play. One day, one of the coaches came, Coach Tag, he came over, he was like, what are you doing, right? And we were like, hey, we're never going to get in the game. We don't know how to get in the game. We practice, we do plays. Those guys are good. How do we get in the game? And he said, his exact words were, if you want to get in the game, stand next to the coach.
Okay.
And I heard that, and I was like, and I tried it. And I tried. The first night I tried it was at a big game, and I just put my helmet on. We stopped laughing. I went next to the coach and just stood next to the coach. And what the coach did was he leaned back and just grabbed whoever was behind him and then threw him in the game. You know? And the number one rule is just stand next to the people who do it. You know? Be there.
Right.
A lot of time. And it's simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple. Super simple.
I love that. That is so cool. I've never thought about it like that, but that makes sense.
Whenever I'm in a place where I feel like I'm not doing or in it, I just keep my head out, see who's doing something.
Right. And just stay close.
We'll get a seat by him. Come here, Shiny.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Hey!
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Feel free. You want to jump? You know what it is. If you want to jump in, you want to have a seat. Yes. You know, what is the pod? You know what it is. Have a seat. No, not yet. At 3. No, sit. So, chime in.
Yeah.
Well,
I love that idea. So for me personally, I would love to piggyback off of that and say that makes perfect sense. And my idea, like if I could tell any new or old comic that they're having a tough day, is just be around it. Just go.
Absolutely.
Don't and go to a mic or go to a show. Specifically, if you're going to the mic, don't try to be funny. Just talk and see what happens.
Absolutely.
And don't set these like crazy goals for yourself. Like I have to do this or I have to do that. It's just like the only thing is just be in the game. Whether that's supporting a show, whether that's going, to a mic. I remember I had this super depressed day. I was like going through a bunch of shit and I was just like so pissed off. But then my intuition told me, go to a mic. Right? And I went to the mic, and a lot of comments were like, oh, mics are so depressing. But I was like, I was so depressed that like the mic was happy. I was like, this is a step up. And it made me feel so much better just to be like, I'm doing the work. Like if you do it, if you build that bridge, like might not be famous, but like you'll feel better as a person.
You're taking attention away from that thing bothering you.
100%.
It's the energy, you're shifting it.
Yeah, it's 100%, yeah. It's like, there's this book called The War of Art, and it's brilliant. And basically, like to sum it up, he says, oftentimes, like your mind will create problems in order to take you away from your artistic journey. But you're always gonna have problems, so just go and fuel yourself with your artistic journey. Do the steps that need to be done for your artistic journey, and you then will feel better, and you'll then come back to your problems with new perspective.
I haven't read that in so long.
Yeah, such a good book,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
Read it multiple times. Is you always find something new, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts.
I want you to do this question.
Oh, yeah, are you ready?
Yes,
I got more. Okay, so then my next
Yeah.
point
Yes.
was, I think this comes up a lot for comics, like, do I read stand-up comedy books, how to write comedy, how do I go about getting it done, right? Like, what do I do? So what are your thoughts on reading stand-up comedy books, how to write stand-up, taking classes? And if you think you can think, or I have an answer.
I don't know even if I'm qualified to answer this, but
Fair enough.
at,
Like, we're in but that's
at the beginning, the
Yeah.
basic rule of getting started in anything is to read 10 books on one subject. You know, you read 10 books and then you can go and then practice. It's just learn and teach. You know, read 10 books and then just keep reading and now you practice. So yeah, you should absolutely. What's that?
Well, let's stay on the book thing
Yeah.
for just a second.
Yeah.
Because I am familiar with that idea, but for me personally, I chose to do the exact opposite. I was like, I'm not going to read books on comedy or stand-up because I felt like, because this is the age of information and me personally in my life, I was always reading, I was always taking classes, but stand-up was the first place in my life where I said, you know what, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm just going to get up and try it out and just start putting in my 10,000 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started reading stand-up books once I started to get the feel for being on stage. And I actually found that process for me was better because sometimes I would get too in my head, and I think sometimes this will happen with certain artists, is you'll start reading and then you get too in your head and then you don't end up actually doing it because you're like, well, I'm not doing it right, or I don't know how to write a joke. Whereas like, I'm just like, just get up on stage, tell the jokes, see what starts working for you. And then what I found was when I started to find jokes that were working for me, I then would read stand-up books and be like, oh, this joke works because I followed the formula that I didn't even know I was following. And then all these jokes that don't work, now I need to put through that formula. And then, shoot it back out. Joke format. Yeah.
I went through phase. The first time when I started comedy, there was just say something funny,
Right.
and because that's what they did, I started to laugh. So the guys would just write funny shit and then talk about it. Then when I came into actually started doing mics in Philly, where it wasn't, I guess, I don't know what you call that. It's not a black crowd, but commercial. Yeah. These guys are all reading books and writing jokes and music formula and that. And now the point that I'm at, I just want to be a reporter and just talk about my asshole view on how I see the world, and not care.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you get to that point with your authenticity where you're just like, I just want to speak as truly as I possibly can and like take it or leave it. And then having that creative autonomy,
because you know the formulas, you know, how to write, but nobody knows your voice like you.
100%.
And that's what's funny.
Yeah, because then eventually, like, there's like an Alan Watts, I'm not going to quote him specifically, but he does talk about this idea of like, when a kid first, like, is a child and they're expressing their artistic, whatever that is, they're singing, they're dancing, whatever. There's no technique there, it's just the love. And then once you become like an adult, you then train and then you have all your technique and you can dance better, you can dance perfectly or whatever. But then the perfect dancer, once they do become this master, it's as if there's no technique. And it's like the same thing like what you were just saying, there's this idea of like once you start writing these jokes that are brilliant and amazing and from your own voice, it doesn't look like there's technique. It's like been ripped from technique. It's passion, it's love, exuding. Here you go, next question. Come on, I'm so excited. I'm just having so much fun. Okay, so I have like 3 more questions. I think we can fit it all in though.
No, we got time.
Okay, coolio. So like what?
If you guys want to chime in, feel free.
Yeah.
Feel free. It's not. Okay, never mind.
So being that you up at your show, you're the first person to give me a spot. Aww. Right? Producing shows. What are some of your advice on producing shows? I know we've both done it from different standpoints, and if you were to tell another comic, another person in this industry, what are some of the big things that you learned, some of the things, pitfalls, pros and cons?
Depends on what kind of show and where you're doing it. If you're just doing a bar show, the basic rule is find a place that has foot traffic. If you're super new and don't know a lot of people coming in and say, I want a show, find a place that has foot traffic. Talk to the owner and find an owner that likes comedy. That's a rule. Once you come in and
they don't like comedy. Yeah.
And they will shut that shit down for football now, for a Monday Night Football in a minute. But if they like comedy, they have space. Hey, use this space, and you can go 1,000 times farther with a bar owner who's interested in comedy. Because I mean, I've seen bars toss you money to pay for comics, but and you can get that. You should get that. You should get a budget and pay comics. A lot of places don't. Jersey does that. Jersey promoters, because a lot of those owners, I don't know why they're so different from New York, but they're interested in live entertainment, so they'll support it.
I think that's great advice, because I do believe that sometimes, like, people, like you said, the owner won't like comedy, and so then your show will get canceled. Last minute. You don't want that to happen. I agree with foot traffic, and I also think, so say you can't find that venue with foot traffic, or you can't find a venue.
How to find a venue?
Yeah, and then also, what do you think?
The two sites that are Free Mics and Bad Slob. The formula I use is find places that do music mics and find their shittiest night and tell them you'll take that shittiest night just to get in, and then that's how you start. Give me the time that you're not making money, so I can try to help you make money in that slot.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's great.
Right,
I agree. I think the other thing that I would just say is that, like, if you can't get a weekly, or you can't get something at a specific venue, to produce your own show. That was the one thing I did right out of the gates, was I really wanted to produce a super great show. So I rented out a space, and I charged, a little bit of amount for tickets just to help me pay for the space. And then I produced this super kick-ass show, which I then got great tape from. I was able to give comics great tape from that. And that's another road. I don't think necessarily comics like, I don't have a venue, or I don't have a show, or I have to do it at this place or this place. It's like, no, find a space you love, or whatever, have a secret show, and it's just a pop-up, and it just keeps changing locations. Like, you can do that. You have so much more control than I think
Close your eyes and open your eyes and allow yourself to be creative.
100%.
I love finding new venues. Me personally, I like the grassroots guerrilla, not paying any money and making something from nothing. So
yes. And I don't mind paying money.
But,
because I know you can make it back to a certain degree.
Yeah, there's plenty of places you can rent out a place easy, and there's apps now where you can just get a space and do whatever you want in that space. So that finding a venue shouldn't be hard at all. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Or like if you did want to do it at a club, there's also that option of, as long as you can bring a lot of people, you can rent out the space.
You can always do a 40-person bringer and go to a club. You know people, and you got money.
Which I've done
They love the 40-person bringer,
Yeah. That's where you get your half hour done.
The only problem with that is I hate fleecing my friends for a $12 domestic beer.
Well, that's the other level. If you have a bunch of friends, but if you don't, then go to the
but I want to keep my friends.
Yeah, well, and that's what the 40-person bringer is. You bring 40 people that you and everyone listening in, and you tell them, look, I'm shooting you all in the face with these jokes.
Yeah. Do you mind if I film you for a second while you guys are talking?
What?
Mind if I film?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was one thing, and then I also like to piggyback on bringer shows, just so you know. I agree with you 100% because I don't want to pimp out. I call it pimping out my friends. Like I don't want to do that. But one thing that I think is great is say you did want to do like a longer set, or you did want to produce something yourself. What I recommend is renting the venue so that there is no drink minimum.
Yeah.
So that you don't, it doesn't matter what they buy. They pay $10 to get in and that's it. And then they can buy what they want to buy. They don't have to. They're there. They're having a good time. So I do believe that there is that option as well that a lot of people, not that they don't think about it, but I just don't think it necessarily crosses their mind.
Yeah, that's a much smarter route to go. And people usually fall into the system without trying to step outside the system.
Exactly. Like, I have some friends and they produce like a great show, and it's literally they just change venues, and they do like a $5 or $10 ticket, and then you can buy whatever you want when you're there. That's it, and it's great.
Because people will drink. You don't have to talk to
people
people
you don't have
beer.
to, right? But when there's a minimum or something, then it just looks like cringy, and it's not that cool.
Yeah.
But also, I think a great way to get your friends to see you is in a light that's like really, whether you're doing 10 minutes, it's hard to get them to see you in 5 minutes, because what can we say in 5 minutes, But set yourself up for success in that way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so, and then that's kind of like tapping on burner shows. I also think like, go ahead, what were you going to say about
Is promoting included in that?
Yeah, let's talk about
How do you feel
promoting.
about using social media to promoting your show?
So I think some comics do it really well, and I think other comics don't do it so well. It's, you post your show on Facebook, we all know about it, and then we're all going to ask you for spots on your show, which is like part of it. Letting people, know that you run a show, and then you can then trade spots, which is a thing that people talk about. And to just talk about the idea of just simply promoting your show, I think that social media isn't necessarily enough. The way that I always, if I'm doing a big show and I really want people to come, you have to text message. You have to write to people as a person, because social media.
You really opened my mind to that.
Yeah.
I think because when I was doing a show, I was like, it was a bigger show than I was used to doing.
Okay.
And I was like, how am I going to fill this place?
Yeah.
And it was like, just ask people one by one.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But it
I was like, no,
works.
people, I don't want to talk to all these people,
No.
but I want them there.
Yeah.
But anyway, it works.
Yeah, 100%.
absolutely.
You send those text messages, because here's the thing, like everyone loves stand-up at the end of the day, like maybe there's like a few, like 1% that don't like it, but everyone wants to see you do stand-up, okay? Whether you bomb or whatever, they want to see you, they want to support. So you have to send genuine messages, like it can be, like a copy and paste, but it should say directly to them, no group messages. If I was writing to Jimmy, hi Jimmy, I hope all is well for you. Just want to let you know about the stand-up show coming up. If you can make it out, that'd be great. Here's a comp link, or here's a discount ticket link, or all comics get in for free. It'd be great if you could come. That's how you get people to come to your shows.
As a personal trainer,
Yeah.
I forgot how much I liked cold calling people, and that
Yeah.
it was I like it. A lot of people don't like.
What's that have to do with being a personal trainer?
But because you got to call clients and follow up and get new members to join, and they give you this sheet for personal training. It's like cold call sheet. It's like sales 101. That you call each one, like, hey, coming in for this free training session. But it's the same way as promoting the show. Like, hey, I got the show, and people like hearing your voice. When you.
That's brave. Excuse me, sorry, I
think
just
about it.
burped.
Yeah, no, good.
That's very
It's
brave.
well.
Very brave.
Yeah,
Very brave.
no,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and when you call them, like, hey, I'm having a show, I need you there. It was easy.
Yeah.
The text message thing works really well.
Uh-huh.
I had a really big show on Friday.
Text is fine,
Text
but if
everyone.
you call them and say, yo, I need you at this show,
Yeah, but
you
people
know.
don't like to talk on the phone.
No, real quick. I'm not telling you about your life. Be like, look, I'm really having this show, and
Yeah.
it just shows them how important you
No,
are.
I mean, I had
to
a
this
good.
show,
I
you know?
messaged people a lot because it was a big contest I was in, and then it was,
And have that response. Say your name too.
Tom DeSillis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the final round of the Long Island Laugh Off.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he texted me, hey, Fine. This is like really big deal.
Yeah.
I had like 40 people.
Wow.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Family, you know, they're like, and then they'll help you out too if they think you're like, they really like your act. They'll bring people. They'll bring friends. Like, oh, come see my friend and perform. Like, it's really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think like when you do those texts, you can't do them every weekend.
No.
You gotta do them like twice a year. I feel like
Oh.
you do the whole
The important one.
come on, sorry, like come on out, like
Yeah,
all. And then I also think it's really important to when you meet your friends or when you meet people wherever you work or whatever you do, your freelance stuff. I have a list on my phone of people I'm supposed to invite to shows, and just keep that list because there's gonna come a time when you're gonna have to call on those people and you owe them a text message or something or a phone call or whatever if you're brave enough to call.
Yeah. Not every day, but
Yeah.
that's the like you said.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't do it every day. It's like I feel like it's like twice, maybe 3
That's
times
the
a year.
Mayday bomb.
Yep.
That's,
Yeah, and you should be doing a lot of time, or it should be a competition, or you should, really be at least 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever you can do. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Oh, my name is Connie Lisbon. I just wanted to, I feel like I'm in a 12-step meeting. I just wanted to say that I produce a monthly show, and the only way that I've had success with getting people there, and it's been really successful, is with texting.
Yes.
Like, I can promote the shit out of it on Instagram, I can promote stories, but I text individuals like, hey, here's the show information, and then they message me a couple days, like, that's how I've had success.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Those are all secondary. Like you need to do all
I need to do all the promoting,
Yeah,
but
you need-
no one's
you need
coming
the
in
Twitter,
from
you
the
need the
poster that I
Instagram,
post on
you need
Instagram.
that, But then when
Yeah.
you call them, they'll say, "Oh, I remember seeing that." And
Yeah.
then that,
Yeah.
solidifies.
Yeah, I don't call them, I text them, like
Yeah.
Tom
Oh, yeah.
said.
Yeah.
But
No,
I
totally.
I had a show last night, and I had 2 specific friends that I was like so excited that they were coming, and then I didn't see them, and she messaged me this morning. She was like, I tried to get in, but it was too crowded,
Yeah.
and I had
That's a good
to. I
problem.
was claustrophobic, so I left,
Yeah.
and there was only standing room in the back, and I was like, wow,
Wow.
that's amazing.
You're
But
like,
also,
I'm famous.
also, I was like, you should have messaged me. I would have made room for you.
Yeah.
So
Good
she
problem.
books shows.
Right.
Oh yeah, now I'm gonna get like all these
Honey,
friend
oh,
requests.
shit.
I know I'm gonna get like a bunch of friend requests. I will accept them. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's true. No, I agree with all that. Okay, so my next question was, and it's, we totally have to go, but I think this is a perfect way to close it. How do you give back? So when you do produce these great shows and the monthlies or the weeklies, what are your ways of like giving back? And I have my thoughts, but what are your ways of giving back to other comics, giving back to this whole world of stand-up? Like, what are some of the things that will take your mind?
Besides time,
Yeah, besides time.
you want them
Okay.
to roll. You want them to do more for other people.
Mhm.
Like I guess Zig Ziglar. I guess my favorite quote, back to the quotes from Rap It Up, is in order to get what you want, you have to help enough people get what they want.
Yeah.
You know, so and that's the best part of comedy because there's so many of us, so many of us want to do something that in any way you can show. When I do a show and I have a young comic, I'll make sure I show them how to set up the show, show them how to set up the tables, show them how to talk to people, show them how to sit people, show them how to bark, and so they know how to run their own show.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you get when I feel like you should get when you do a show with somebody who's been doing it.
Right.
You should teach somebody else how to do it.
Yes,
You
I
know?
agree.
And do it better than you,
Yeah. Maybe not better. Well,
You know?
there you go.
Yeah, you just gotta do it. And that's
barks
better
better
Yeah,
Yeah.
shit.
No, I agree with you. And I think one thing that I started recently doing, as much as I can, is the idea of like helping people, teaching them how to bark, teaching them how to, because one thing I've noticed recently about barking, and if y'all don't know this, or if you're barking for your own show, talk to them like they are people. Do not yell at them. Do not get angry if they don't want to see your show and they're going somewhere else. It's like, if you're nice, they might actually come back to your show. If their thing down the road didn't work out, they will be back at your show. But if you berated them, they will not come back because then they think you're going to be that shitty comic on stage.
I remember talking
You know?
to somebody else somebody older than me who used to do shows, He's like, why are you so nice to people? Why do you help people? Now I was like,
Yeah.
ew. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how are you
Right.
supposed to be? Like, he's like, no. I make guys do it, and then if they want to do it, then I'll get somebody else. And I was like, so you don't show anybody, you don't teach anybody, you don't.
Yeah.
That was I don't know. It was.
That's weird.
I couldn't
But
comprehend.
that's also not you though, because back to the Zig Ziglar quote, like you want to help people
Absolutely.
get what they want, and I think the quote that I wanted to share because I feel like this was a really big game changer for me, especially just like for all growing comics, old comics, new comics, the whole shebang. Because I think what's interesting is that your process is always going to be changing. So it's like at first you're like, I just want to be good at mics, and then you're like, I just want to be good on my show, and then it's like there's always another level. And this is a quote that I like to read, and I don't even know who it's by, so forgive me. But I like to read this before I go on stage. Nervousness arises because you have something to gain from the transaction. If you have nothing to gain, you will not feel nervous. Therefore, the question is not how do I stop being nervous or how do I deal with this nervousness. The greater question is this: how can I be so sincere, so authentic that I have everything to give and nothing to gain? Yeah, right? Yeah.
Everybody's thinking.
Yeah. Right?
That's
Like
good.
that's, I feel
Absolutely.
like every comic, if we could experience that on stage, that's it. They're rungs,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You know?
It's not about. Yeah. You said it.
You said it.
I didn't say that. But
Yeah.
But I would have said something like, don't expect shit. You know?
Yeah.
Just have, you know.
Yeah, but then sometimes you'll be in a situation where you're like, I really want to deliver. I really want them to like me. And then you have to also be like, but you know what? Like all I can do is
Yeah.
just give my authentic
And when
self.
you start, that's
That's it.
how you are. You know.
Yeah.
You know. Any questions? No. Good. Did we learn something?
Yeah.
Is that Landsman?
It's me.
Hi, beautiful.
See you too.
Where can they find you online?
Yeah, you can
We got a
find
lot
me-
done.
Yeah, we got tons done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
alright. Yeah, good.
We're
Where can they find you
we're
online?
doing it. Okay, so you can find me Malorie, like calorie, Malorie, Malorie.
That's been your
Bryant,
tag since I've been.
Wait, what?
That's been your tag since I've
Oh
been.
yeah. Malorie, like
Dude,
calorie.
does everybody say, how do you spell
Bryant.
Mallory?
Yes, like
Huh?
calorie. They do, because they say Llory, which is not that. It's
Yeah.
Malorie, like calorie, Malorie. Bryant, like Bryant Park, MallorieBryant.com, and that's my handle on everything, Mallorie Bryant. It's very simple.
On
So
Instagram,
Twitter, what else? There?
Pinterest?
Instagram, and what are the other
No,
things? Pinterest. You always
Yes,
talk about
Pinterest. I'm trying to get sponsored by Pinterest.
Pinterest.
You don't understand. Pinterest, I know people who listen to my podcast and they say, oh, so-and-so opened their first board on Pinterest. I have a following, all right? People are doing it. Get on Pinterest. If you want your followers and fans, they're on Pinterest.
I don't think they
God
are. But I agree.
This- I was gonna say one thing. Yeah, I gotta do that with peoples too. I say people with an S, and they were like peoples, P, and then I spell it out every time.
Yeah.
Every time. Website.
MallorieBryant.com.
What's that for a website? YouTube. That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to get
Mallorie
you on
Bryant.
YouTube.
I have
You have your
one
name on YouTube?
I do, yeah.
Oh, you have numbers. Because you have to have.
I have Mallorie Bryant on everything.
That's so fucking cocky. Yeah, because you have to have a certain 100 subscribers in order to get your name. You have that?
I don't
I guess you do.
Subscribers?
Yeah, you
I
do.
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Give her up for her one more time. You can find this wherever you can find podcasts on iHeartRadio. I'm drawing a blank. Spotify. And Blog Talk Radio, JimmyPeoples.com. We are on YouTube. Nick Crespo, our chancellor, is late as fuck. We're going to be on LiveMe.com. It's a new app they're trying to bring to America. It's in China and London. The amount of followers you get is, people actually watch. So it's young kids who watch. So if you can download the LiveMe app, we'll use that next time. I'll have you back in a month when we'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll do it
again.
again.
Give it up for one more time. Thank you.